They say every architect dreams in blueprints, but I dreamt in light, in space, in how buildings could breathe with the city, how they could nurture the very communities they served. For me, architecture wasn't just about steel and glass, it was about life. I poured my soul into every sketch, every model, especially into my vision for a revolutionary, sustainable facade. A living skin for a building that could generate its own energy, integrating with green spaces, transforming urban jungles into vibrant ecosystems. This wasn't just a project, it was my purpose, my magnum opus waiting for the right canvas.
Then there was Marcus Thorne. His name echoed through every architectural forum, every glossy magazine. He was the golden boy, the charismatic visionary whose designs pierced the sky. To me, he was an idol, a titan whose work, despite its grandiosity, held a certain undeniable allure. I admired his ambition, his sheer scale. So, when the email landed in my inbox, an offer for a junior architect position on the city's new eco-hub project, his project, I felt a surge of adrenaline. This was it. My chance to learn from the best, to contribute to something truly meaningful. I walked into his gleaming office, ready to pour every ounce of my being into his vision, truly believing that I'd found my mentor. At first, it was incredible. I worked tirelessly, sharing my designs, my core ideas for the facade, the community integration. Marcus seemed genuinely impressed, praising my fresh perspective, my innovative thinking. I thought we were a team, that my designs would be our designs. But then, slowly, subtly, things shifted. I found myself excluded from key client meetings, emails went unanswered, my direct input dwindled. I tried to brush it off. Just how big firms operate, I told myself. He's the lead, after all. Then came the client pitch. I was there, relegated to the back, watching Marcus on the stage. And there it was, my facade, my community integration. Every line, every detail, every unique concept that had lived only in my head and my sketchbooks, now projected onto a massive screen, presented with utter confidence as his groundbreaking vision. My stomach dropped. It felt like watching a thief steal my very soul, parading it in front of the world. Celebratory press conference was the final blow. Marcus, bathed in the spotlight, accepting all the accolades. I couldn't bear it. I pushed through the crowd, desperate. "Mr. Thorne, those designs, they were my—" I started. He cut me off with a dismissive wave, a practice saccharine smile for the cameras. "Young man," he said, his voice dripping with condescension. "Enthusiasm is commendable, but these designs are the culmination of my team's efforts under my direction." The world believed him. The industry doors slammed shut. I was branded a delusional amateur, blackballed, financially ruined. My life's purpose, my very identity, felt like it had been shredded and scattered to the winds. The days that followed were a blur of despair. My apartment became a monument to my failures. Rejection letters piling up, my beautiful sketches lying discarded. I lost all desire to design, to create. The world felt utterly unjust. Why even try when someone like Marcus could just take everything? But then, one rainy evening, I saw him on the news again. Marcus, standing in front of my building, basking in the glory of the Thorne Tower. And something shifted inside me. It wasn't a burning rage, not a desire for petty vengeance. It was colder, sharper, a profound realization. Justice wasn't just about reclaiming my name. It was about exposing the truth, about ensuring he faced the consequences of his deceit.
His greatest strength, his colossal ego, would be his downfall. I decided right then that I would build a blueprint for his retribution, just as meticulously as I'd built my architectural designs. I started digging, not just into Marcus, but into the stolen plans themselves. I accessed public records, cross-referencing his approved blueprints with my archived versions. That's when I found it. A subtle, almost imperceptible modification he'd made to my facade system. A cost-cutting shortcut, a structural compromise he, in his arrogance, must have thought wouldn't matter. But I knew. I knew my design. And I knew that single change, combined with specific environmental factors, would lead to long-term, non-visible instability. It was a fatal flaw, a ticking time bomb only the original architect, me, could truly understand. The work became my obsession again, but with a new purpose. I unearthed digital timestamps, version histories, and the unique, intricate mathematical sequence I'd embedded deep within my original CAD files, my silent digital signature. I ran simulations, proving the instability. I pieced together every fragment, every overlooked detail, building an irrefutable case. I learned about his upcoming keynote at the International Architectural Summit, the perfect stage. I rehearsed my questions, my tone, calm, precise, devastatingly factual. I wouldn't accuse, I would reveal. The air in the auditorium was thick with anticipation. Marcus Thorne, immaculate and radiating self-satisfaction, strode onto the stage, the grand Thorne Tower gleaming behind him on the massive screen. My heart pounded, but my hands were steady. This wasn't about fear, it was about precision. When the Q&A began, I took a deep breath and raised my hand. I walked to the microphone, every eye in the room on me. My voice was clear, confident, yet devoid of emotion. I started with a seemingly innocuous, technical question about the subtle structural elements of the facade. Marcus, condescendingly, dismissed me with a glib answer. "Perhaps," I said, my voice cutting through the polite murmur. "A visual demonstration would clarify." I connected my tablet. The giant screen behind Marcus flickered, then split. On one side, my original blueprint, with its unique hidden elements subtly glowing, a silent testament to my authorship. On the other, Marcus's modified, compromised version. Then I overlaid a simulation, a chilling animation revealing the long-term stress fractures, the subtle but inevitable structural failure points in his flawed design. Below it, the irrefutable digital metadata, timestamps, all proving my original creation. The silence that followed was deafening. Then a collective gasp rippled through the room. Murmurs erupted, building to a roar. Marcus's face, once so confident, contorted into a mask of pure, unadulterated panic. His eyes darted around, trapped. The cameras flashed, a relentless strobe. In that moment, the entire industry saw the truth.
The headline screamed, "Architect Scandal, Thorne's Empire Crumbles, the Real Genius Emerges." The noise of his undoing was deafening, a symphony of consequences that echoed through every news outlet, every industry conversation. My name, once tarnished, was not just cleared, it was revered. A torrent of opportunities flooded my way, but these weren't empty promises from opportunists. They came from clients, from firms, from peers who genuinely valued true innovation, the very integrity Marcus had so carelessly discarded. I didn't just rebuild, I ascended. I founded my own studio, a beacon of the principles I had always held dear, a living testament to ethical design and unwavering vision. My retribution wasn't a violent outburst, nor a petty act of destruction. It was a meticulously crafted blueprint, a quiet, devastating exposure of the truth. It was the patience of a seed breaking through concrete, the undeniable force of natural consequence. And sometimes, the most profoundly satisfying payback isn't about striking back. It's about watching justice, in all its quiet, unyielding power, finally build its own unshakable foundations.